Okay, we're recording. I'm here with my friend Driss. We're both in Manila in the Philippines. It's 27 degrees. It's really hot. It's 10:30 p.m. We just met a while ago, and we're recording the first podcast ever. So I wanted to start with Driss. Tell me who you are. What's your background? What's your story?
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Javier, for having me as the first guest of your
Absolutely.
podcast. I'm sure it will be awesome. So, quick intro. My name is Driss. I come from France. I'm 24 and I will be 25 in a couple of days. And I had the opportunity to meet Javier
Hmm.
in Bangkok a few weeks ago. And so I was born and raised in France, and I've studied business and management. Right now, I have launched my startup company, and I'm traveling a bit around South Asia. And the objective is to work and travel and meet new people
Absolutely.
like Javier. So it's going very well, and
That's
I'm happy to
amazing.
be
Wait, you
here.
said your birthday is coming soon. When is that?
Yeah, it's on the 24th of
Nice.
December.
Nice
So
day,
I'm
man.
like a little a little Jesus. I don't know if I can say this on your
Yeah.
podcast.
Uh, we won't be together anymore, but I'll make sure I wish you happy birthday. Okay, so we can delve
Yep.
into France. How is it like to grow up in France? You're from Paris, you said. So is Paris that different from
Yep.
the rest of France, as they say?
Yeah, so I'm not really from Paris. So I was
Hmm.
born in Paris, but I was raised
Okay.
30 minutes from Paris. Uh, and life in France is very good. I have my father is from Morocco, my mother is from France, so I am mixed. And childhood was very good. Education in France is pretty nice too. I had the opportunity to do some long studies, and it was free.
Yeah.
That's
What
a
did you
good thing
study
in
again?
France. And
Hmm.
business and management. So in business,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
And yeah, in France is nice. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think it's nice. Uh, I think it gives you the tools you need for developing into a professional career. But how do you see current Europe, France, but Europe in general? What's
Damn.
what's your vision on it? Because we're both people who left Europe, so in the end we have things in common. So how do you see the future of Europe? Yeah,
Damn, man,
really.
this is a big question. For me, I love France, but there is like any other country
Mhm.
some bad side. But how do I see France and Europe? I think I'm gonna not live all
Mhm.
my life in France, but traveling a bit and come back home for some months in the year, I think will be fine for me. Right now, I am building a company in France, so I think I had the opportunity to choose so between France and the US, and I think even if we have a lot of tax, even if we have a lot of bad side in France to create companies, I feel like it's pretty good too because you know the people, the talent there in France are really good, and to hire the right people, it's perfect in terms of business. And how do I see Europe? So this year I was with my friend Lewis, and we had the opportunity to do
Yeah.
Europe tour with
Hmm.
Interrail.
Yeah.
I think you
Correct.
pronounce it that way, and it was amazing. Europe is you have so much thing to see, especially historical uh, infrastructure.
Hmm.
I don't know if I can say this, but it's really big for that, and so nice. But in terms of living, I don't have any real answers. I'm trying to try new things, like what I'm doing in Asia, and I will see.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think we have a similar vision. But yeah, I think the Europe, we know nowadays, was built on a very wide, big middle class. And I don't know, something tells me it's disappearing now, or at least is reduced inside. So we'll see what comes. But yeah, for now, we have a lot of talent that is leaving Europe, as you said, in this part of
Yep.
Asia, in the US, especially with startups and entrepreneurs. So we'll see what direction it takes, but I feel that some things should be changed. But anyway, we are now in Asia, and I wanted to ask you, why did you decide to come to Asia? What called you from Asia?
Yeah, and I will also bounce
Yeah,
back on
yeah,
your
tell me.
last answer regarding Europe. So for me, I don't really have this way of analysis of if it's Europe
Hmm.
or France, good or bad. It's more like egocentric, but I'm thinking of me. So what do I want to do as a young man that was born and
Absolutely.
raised in France? So I feel like the best way for me is to just explore, discover, because I don't have any answers and I want to find some. And how do I choose South Asia? Because just I never met there, I never had the
Hmm.
opportunity to go there, and uh, also because I wanted to see something new, new culture, and focus on myself, focus on work basically. Because I'm not here like a
Yeah,
tourist, but I'm working all day, every day. I
yeah.
think you can tell. But I really enjoy South Asia. But I think I'm gonna come back after 4 months back in France,
Hmm.
still for the same reason, focus
That's
on work.
amazing. Yeah, and we both met in Bangkok. I think we have the same vision about Southeast Asia. I think it's a very nice area of the world, especially for your 20s and early 30s, because it behaves like a boost for your career. You have a very relaxed lifestyle, especially when you come from America or Europe, and you can get some things that you couldn't get in Europe, or at least they are not as affordable and available, and dedicate more time, focus on your business, on your career, on your goals. I think that's something that everyone should try at least one in their life. Is Yeah.
Yeah, and I think sorry, and I think like in South Asia, when you come from Europe, like you said, you feel like a
Hmm.
billionaire in two way. The first one is because obviously the cost of living
Hmm.
is very low. So even if you don't have a huge revenue, you can afford like luxury places,
Totally.
luxury restaurants, do a lot of activities that you cannot do in France or in the US. And the second thing that I feel like I'm a billionaire. It's like I feel so a lot of freedom. I feel so rich that meeting people like you. I feel so rich that I can feel this happiness. I don't know how to say it, but that's why I left France for. So that's why
Hmm.
I left France for 4 months. It was really to
Totally.
try new things, and when you spend that much time alone, you reconsider what you had before and what you want for the future. And doing this in Southeast Asia is amazing because you have nature, you have like I said a very high, how do you say how do you say in France we say pouvoir d'achat, power,
Purchasing power.
uh,
Purchasing power.
how do we say, what's the
Purchasing,
first
like
word?
ability to. Yeah.
Purchasing, exactly,
Yeah, totally.
purchasing power,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree on
So
that. And
it's,
it's not only the cost of living is low, which it is, but I
yeah,
don't know if you see it this way,
yeah.
but it's a way of buying time. So you feel you can buy time when you get um, things you could not afford in Europe, or at least you need to make an effort to afford them. While here, you buy time when you don't cook and you eat outside because it's really cheap. You don't. use any other transportation other than taxi because it's really cheap. You get your laundry done. You get so many little luxuries that in Europe would be more expensive, and you can do them every day on a daily basis here, which is technically buying time because you don't spend time on in cooking, in laundry, in all these other things that are mundane tasks from the daily life. I don't know if you see that.
Yeah, and you have this, and also like I think it was your case too. But before that, I was in company, so I was
Mm-hmm.
a worker, and right now I have my activities as a freelancer or as a
Yep,
CEO of my company. So I am really controlling my time. I can do whatever I
exactly.
want during the day, and this is the real uh, wealthiness. I don't know
Totally.
how can I explain, but you just doing what you want to do whenever you want to do it, and at the end of the day, you are just working because you want to build something big, and this is the best thing
I totally
so
agree.
far.
It's the same. We're thinking the same way, and at the same time, you meet people who are doing the same as you. So you
Exactly.
get
Yeah.
feedback from similar individuals who are here for exactly the same things as you, and they have the same goals. So I think that we as individuals are the sum of the five closest people around us. So when you have people, we have people around
Yeah.
us that have the same goals, mindset, and ambitions. But it's a win-win.
Yeah, exactly. And you learn so much with other people that are working like this. So, for example, if you met other freelancers, they
Hmm.
can give you tip about, I don't know, how to find new mission, how to optimize your
Totally.
finance, and it's amazing because when I was in France in my let's say friends
Hmm.
circle, I was the only one. I had some friends that were building the company but not really close friends, so it was really difficult to have this
Hmm.
space of living, and you have the other friends that are working on 9 to 5. Everyone can do whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, it's really difficult to compare or to be in the
Yeah.
same energy, and that's why I left for a few months. But to be honest, I really want to. I really enjoyed this trip in Southeast Asia, but I'm not sad to come back in France because I feel like it's the
Hmm.
right moment after 3 4 months, and to you know try to keep this space, but
Yeah, that's
in
amazing.
France.
Um, One quick question. Did something really shock you in Asia? Like something that you didn't expect at all that was that way, or something new that you had never foreseen?
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I had the opportunity
Uh-huh.
to go to India, and I think as a European, this
Yeah.
destination can really
Hmm.
shock you in many ways. But when you ask the question, the first thing come to my mind is when you arrive in India and you see the poorness, you see the I don't know how to say it. Let me find my words.
No
My
worries.
word. Even in French, I don't know what I want to say. Uh,
I mean, poverty,
the yeah, poverty, and the next one, the obvious one,
precariousness.
yeah, it's
Okay.
dirty.
Okay. Yeah. So that's something that shocked you really from Asia. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But it was
Mhm.
an amazing trip in India. So I went with two other friends. It was a backpack tour in the
Yeah.
north of India, and it was one of my best experiences so far because it was discovering really a new country, the one
Yeah.
that no one wants to go. So it was
That's
really
amazing.
exciting, and when you have done India, I feel like after that you cannot really be shocked by
Mhm.
anything in other countries. If I am thinking in Bangkok or in Indonesia, I don't see thing that really shocked me in
Mhm.
negative way. Positive way, I can tell you a lot of things about Bangkok, a
Yeah,
lot of things about
I
Bali,
was gonna ask you now
but
because we met in Bangkok. So what do you think is
Yeah,
the best in Bangkok? What things surprised you, and why do you think it's a very good city to live in?
yeah. So it's really in Bangkok. It's really the mix between chaos and a developed country
Yeah,
and
perfect
big
blend.
buildings, and you have a really special energy with this infrastructure, really developed infrastructure, but also the chaos of an
Hmm.
emerging country. And with that, you have really open people, really kind people, and even the foreigners that are living there are really open. So
Yeah,
that's how we met. And uh, it's really the energy with all of those things that
totally. I
I
agree.
like.
I
Bangkok
would add
is really
that
nice.
it's really cozy. I didn't expect it to be so cozy, and for a 14 million people city, it's really comfortable. I didn't expect it. It's really comfortable to move around. It's very easy to get from place A to B. And yeah, the expat community is one of the best in Southeast Asia, I would say, because they say is the door, the gate to enter Southeast Asia is the place where everyone has to go through before going anywhere
Yeah,
else.
landmark.
And yeah, that's what makes it so special. And after Bangkok, we split ways. You went to Bali, I went to Kuala Lumpur. How would you compare Bangkok to Bali? What's best in Bali? What's best in Bangkok? Uh-huh.
Completely different. Really, it's even hard to find things similar between Bangkok and Bali, because Bali is basically an
Hmm.
island, Bangkok is a city, and the energy are really different. And what I really like about Bali is, I went directly in Canggu. I know a lot of people don't like Canggu because you don't have a lot
Yeah.
of things to go there, but for the lifestyle, I really enjoyed staying 1 month in Canggu because you have sport infrastructure. You have this energy of everyone is beautiful. You don't know how, but in Canggu, everyone is jacked. It's
True.
basically Instagram, but so you have good points and bad points. But in Chengdu, if you want to really focus on sports,
Hmm.
optimize nutrition, and enjoy also this natural environment, because you have the sea, you have the, I don't know how to say it in English, the rizière, so
Hmm.
the rice field, and the all the you can take a scooter and it's 5 minutes to go in Chengdu.
Yeah,
It's,
everything's
it's
close.
really nice. And Bangkok, more like a city to work, because the bad side in Chengdu, it's like to work, it feels like paradise. So
Yeah.
you don't really want to really focus from
Yeah, yeah.
8 to 8
You're
and work
you're in vacation
12
mode.
hours a day. Exactly. So it's a bit
Yeah.
difficult to have this
So
this
which one would you
lifestyle.
choose if you were to stay long term?
If I have to stay, let's say 6 months, damn. I know if I stay 6 months in Chengdu, I will be an
That's
athlete, because everything is
yeah.
made for that. And in terms of works, I think I'm gonna go with with Bali, because I also had the opportunity to go to be the tourist for 2 weeks, and go do some scuba diving and so on. I really enjoy that. And for me, Bangkok, if I want to stay 6 months and only stay in Bangkok, I will miss the sea, I will miss the nature. Even if you have really good park, for example, the
Hmm.
Lumpini Park, the pollution will be
Yeah,
too
I
much
get
for
you.
me.
No, it's understandable, and both are amazing cities. I think it's the main points in Southeast Asia where most expats stay. So I would say it's both top choices. You cannot go wrong. In my opinion, I didn't go to Bali yet, but with it being an island, I would think I would feel a bit trapped in a way. Don't know if that makes sense, but I would miss the city. I'm a city person, I guess. So I've seen Bangkok. I really liked it,
Yeah,
but
I
I
agree.
cannot judge because I haven't been to Bali. And there's not much sense for me
Yeah,
to compare Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. They're both big capitals. So yeah, for now I will stay with Bangkok,
Yeah.
but man, if you stay there, I will definitely visit you really soon.
Yeah, but to be honest, the city parts really miss in Bali. So maybe you have to go in Jakarta, Java Island. Maybe you will find
Yeah,
a mall because basically on Bali Island you have one, but it's really small. For example, you don't have an Apple Store. So
yeah,
if you break your iPhone, I don't know
yeah,
how do people do it there because I was really stuck. And but yeah, if I want to choose between those two, it's difficult. But just for the nature, I think
yeah.
Bali
That's
would be my
amazing.
choice.
So, Dries, how does it feel to be a solo traveler? I know you've been to Bangkok and Bali. Most of those, most of the trip, you were a solo traveler before meeting anyone. How does
Yeah,
it feel? What you think you could have done better? What do you think it was amazing? Tell me about your experience.
yeah, man. So I think I'm not really the good person
Oh,
to ask this question because I really
yeah,
enjoy being alone. So
it's
even
true.
if
You told
I'm
me.
traveling, I was I'm the only
Yeah.
kids in my family, so I'm really used to do things alone, and I really enjoy being alone, and that's why I left 3 4 months because I had this need to be alone for a
Hmm.
long period of time. So for me, it's I feel so happy to be like that and to meet people whenever I want, and to not meet people whenever I want, and so if I have any tips, the one tip I can give you is just to download Trip BFF. It's an app to
Yep.
meet people
Promotion in the
if you
first
want,
episode, man.
and that's how I met. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not paid, but
Yeah, that's
it's a
true.
really good application, and that's how I met Javier here. And you can really meet people that are the same lifestyle than you, like doing
Hmm.
sports, working, or if you just want to meet some people to do parties, you can too. So yeah, I think you like this
Yeah,
app too, Javier.
that's fantastic. So I don't think I have anything to add, but you're a very social person, so you don't have problems meeting people whenever you want. So yeah, that's completely fine. Um, I wonder how do you manage to keep a routine when you're traveling? We both know it's really hard. Every time you land somewhere new, you don't know what's the food like, where the gym are,
Yeah.
where the gyms are, where you can do activities. You basically don't know the city apart from what you've read online. So how do you manage to keep a routine?
This is a really good question because the first time you arrive in a country, you don't have this thing that
Hmm.
basically you have a to-do list, and first you have to find an accommodation, then you need to ensure you will have internet, and then you have to ensure you have payment methods, so cash or card. After that, at least you're safe for one day, and then you can find something to it. But it's really hard to know this to-do list because maybe it's not the
Hmm.
same for you and for me. But for me, I just need an accommodation, find internet, and after that, find a area where I can do sports. And I'm not really a guy that plans everything. I really like to arrive and do everything in the day. I just don't check before what will be my accommodation on what will be the area. I like to
Hmm.
discover, and I trust my I trust life.
Yeah.
Let's say that. And so I think you really have to be adaptable because sometimes you arrive in a country, it's the chaos. You took an accommodation, but they don't have AC. There are a lot of bugs, so you want to leave. You feel like this country will be horrible. I had this experience
Really?
in Bangkok, in Bali,
In
and
Bangkok
in
too?
Manila. Yeah, so I
Okay.
arrived in Bangkok too. I was in the Chinese area, so
Uh-huh.
it
Okay, okay,
was
okay.
really crowded, a lot of people, you feel the heat, a lot of pollution, and you are like, what? I just arrived, I plan to do
Yeah,
3 months here. What the fuck? I need to
that's true.
stay. So you just want to be calm, rest a bit, and then you can find another area. So what I like to do is just took an accommodation for two
Exactly.
days so I can really try rest a bit, and then I can go around the area to
Totally
find the
agree.
best
I
spot.
was gonna suggest the same. We both do the same, but some people might think it's a good idea. So it's worth to mention that going to a city for the first time, you might not experience the same as other travelers. So it's best to book a place for a couple days, 2, 3 days, explore the area around,
Yeah,
see what you like, what you
yeah,
dislike, and then book for a longer term, especially if you're staying for long term. If you stay for a week, that's fine. But if you stay for a month or longer, it's worth to explore first, and that's best done when you book something for a few days before. Otherwise, you will have a bad experience like I had in Kuala Lumpur. So, anyway, we're back.
yeah,
Philippines internet problems, I guess. And let me go back to what I was saying. So, yeah, I made this mistake in Kuala Lumpur. I booked a place without knowing the area before. I booked it for almost a month without even checking before arriving. So I arrived and I discovered that there's a mosque across my building. It's a Muslim country. I thought it's fine, no problem. But I arrived at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. one weekday night, and at 5:45 I got awakened suddenly by prayers from a very loud speaker, and that happened every single day, Monday to Sunday. So I had to book another accommodation without getting a refund, just because I didn't check the area. So it's a nice advice, I would say. Yeah. Anyway, last about Southeast Asia. You're coming back to France in soon after Christmas. Are you coming back? What what will make you come back again after Christmas?
yeah. So basically, for 2025, I don't have really fixed plans.
Yeah.
The the real thing will be how can I still manage my company if I can do it remotely, or maybe I will have to go in France because, long story short, we are applying in an incuba,
Incubator.
incubator,
Hmm.
incubator, yeah, in France. So maybe I have to go there, but
Yeah.
nothing sure. And yeah, so I think the decision will be decided with the man. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
No
Let
worries,
me do
man.
it. Let
It's
me
all
do
right,
it.
man.
Um, so yeah, I plan to go back on the 7th of January 2025, and
Yeah.
yeah, I plan to stay maybe 1 or 2 months in France, and after that, I have no idea. But I definitely plan to continue to travel and continue to grow my company. But maybe I will do it in Europe a
Hmm.
bit because right now, with this experience, I know that I can live anywhere. I just need my big backpack, my laptop, and that's it. And
True.
this way of living, so just booking for 1 month. Uh, Anywhere and living, and right now I know my to-do list, as I told you. I know I need to find a good accommodation, somewhere I can do sports, and a good wi-fi connection, and I'm
Hmm.
happy. So I can do it anywhere, and maybe the plan will be to do it in Europe and even in France. For example, in France it's really difficult to have a rent. You have to show thousands of papers, and you have to be engaged for at least a year. So it's really complicated and
Yeah.
the expensive. So Airbnb, you can do it long stay, for example, 1 month in the
Hmm.
south of France. And I don't really want to stay in Paris because too much people, the weather is not the best. And if you don't have a work in Paris, I don't see why you are living there.
Yeah.
But so south of France, maybe I will continue to travel, but around Europe.
That's amazing. Sad to hear, but I hope I see you around here again, man.
Sure, sure,
Um,
sure.
and yeah, it's an amazing lifestyle. I can only agree. That's why we chose it, I guess. So you mentioned your company. Tell us a bit more about Lulu, what you guys do, what you pretend to do, and what are the aspirations and what's it about?
So yeah, I started my company in January 2024. Before that, I was in finance and consulting, and I decided to quit to start my own company.
Hmm.
So the objective is to revolutionize education with gamified learning. So, but basically, what we are doing is just taking the school programs and transform the school programs into playful and engaging games.
Hmm.
And so we already dropped the first version of the application on App Store and Google Play. And
Hmm.
so really the objective is to provide a new way of learning to all the kids around the world. And we have a unique technology behind this. It's an adaptable engine, learning engine. So
Hmm.
if you are a kid and you want a personalized pathway of learning, you can go on Lulu. It's available, and the objective is to really uh, be better at school, but playing video games. Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you have any users already? What is the adoption like?
Yeah, so right now we have a small community of beta testers.
Hmm.
We are more than hundreds, so it's small, but it's the beginning. And
Yeah.
we are 7th of December, and normally next week we will drop the new big updates. It will be huge, and you will have a whole world to discover and learn all the school program with new games, new ludic activities, and I hope we will have new users.
That's amazing. Wish you best of luck, of course. And where do you see Lulu in the future? What would you like it to become?
Basically, all the kids, younger and younger, are going into screens, and this is
Hmm.
something you cannot fight because uh, it's the reality.
Yeah.
So we want to bring a solution to all the parents that are struggling with screens at home. And so what we want with Lulu, we want Lulu to be the first solution for parents and kids. Let's say your kids really want a screen, you can
Hmm.
giving uh, a useful screen time that will help him to be better in school and play games. So this is really the ambition.
That's fantastic. Um, okay, let's start wrapping up. Dries, it was fantastic talking to you. I have one last question,
Yeah.
and it's also related to the future. You said you're 25 in 2 weeks. You're still young, but where do you see yourself before 30? What would you like to achieve before 30?
So how do I see myself in 5 years? So before 30, uh, let's go. Let me think first. How can I?
Sure, absolutely.
Um,
You still have 5 years, so you can do plenty of things, unlike me.
yeah, yeah. First of all, let me go on the philosophical way. I
Hmm.
really want to
Go ahead.
continue to enjoy life because I'm really happy. I'm 10 on 10 on the scale, and I don't want to lose that. And I
Hmm.
feel like um, all my decisions will be around this, let's say, KPI, be happy.
Yeah, that's the main
And
KPI. Okay,
this is the main KPI that will keep, I will keep this until I'm 30 and even after. But
that's the main one.
the big thing is I really enjoy my life, and I really want to keep this. But where do I see me when I will be 30? Still with close to my family. I want to
Hmm.
achieve a lot because my go-to is really to be defined by my action, and I really focus on this to really do things, even if it's a new activity, even if it's launch a
Yeah,
company, even if it's try new basic stuff like painting, singing, dancing, or go in a new country. But discover for me is the best thing to be happy and to continue learning. And beside that, I really want to create. So it can be, for example, my company. I want to have impact. So all of this, I want to keep doing it to be at 30 and still be happy. I don't know if my answer is good because
That's
I don't really
amazing.
know, but this
It's
is really what
fantastic, Idris. No,
I.
really. It's really nice. It's really nice. Okay, so I think that's a wrap up. Thank you a lot for coming. It's always nice to have such ambitious people around, especially as close friends. So it's always a pleasure, and I'm really happy you are the first guest here. So yeah, thank you, Driss, for coming, and see you tomorrow. Actually, see you. Bye bye.
Bye.